I'm sorry. I'll apologise to the guys if they watch this. Welcome back to Whisky Whims with me, Stuart. Today we've got Dornoch Thompson Bros Sutherland 5-year-old, which was bottled in 2023. I purchased this 100ml sample from Aberdeen Whisky Shop. They do these tasty drams, just in this kind of little packaging. I think this cost me, I could be wrong, but I think it was just under £10. It might have been just over. It was a little while ago and I've had this sitting, but I recently opened it, and I'm going to let you in a little spoiler. I don't know why I let it sit for so long. So yeah, this is made up of 100 bulk litres of Clynelish 2014, which is 9-year-old, a refill bourbon cask, barrel, whatever you want to call it. Also Clynelish 8-year-old, refill bourbon again. Dornoch 5-year-old, which was a Bodega sherry cask, and also Glen Murray refill, so that's quite interesting. And 3cl of an 82 Gordon & MacPhail Brora, bottled in 2015, so that's about 32 to 33-year-old, without actually getting the physical bottle up and checking the dates. So yeah, it's got some interesting whiskey in there. The youthfulness of the Dornoch and the kind of wacky maturation styles and fermentation styles, sorry, not maturation, but well, I suppose the maturation is quite wacky. Sherry Bodega and refill Glen Murray, but also their kind of fermentation approach. So it'll be interesting to see how this is. And we'll get down to the nose, the palate, the finish, and see if it's a Whisky Win or a Whisky Bin. So the nose is quite musky. There's pineapple cubes. There's dried out grain. I'm also getting, I wasn't getting this originally, but maybe just the longer this glass has sat. I've not got this when I've drunk it previously, but actually donuts, I'm smelling donuts. There's something metallic as well, or like electrical, maybe something like Scalextrics, or I suppose that's probably the most common smell that people will associate with it. I think of like at work when you go into a cabinet and it's got all the electrical wire and it's quite a hot cabinet, it's maybe got some fans in there to cool it down, and you get a kind of hot electrical smell, because it's not as obvious as Scalextrics, but it's more just like, yeah, when we smell it at work, it's a kind of worry. Sometimes you're like, it's one of those things that just pop up, like, that shouldn't smell like that. Yeah, so I kind of, there's also like a kind of yeasty, like a yeasty smell to it, and a Hessian sack. That's what I'm getting on the nose. We'll get down to the conclusion later. Actually, I was going to say we'll get down to the palate before I jump ahead of myself. Oh, yeah. It's waxy, it's bursting with fruits. There's also quite a kind of funky, smoky or ashy, or even like peat flavour to this, and it somewhat reminds me of older kind of 80s blends. Now I know the Brora is 82, and to be perfectly honest with you, candid, like I'm not going to lie, I don't know if they did peat Brora. I might sound like a complete idiot here saying that maybe they did back then. They possibly could have, I don't know, some Highland distilleries, and is Brora even Highland? Speyside distilleries. Some distilleries were, a lot of distilleries were using peat. This is just going to show my knowledge now. Looking like an absolute idiot. But yeah, there's definitely something, there's something that reminds me of like an old 80s blend, something peated. But it's not like, it's not so obvious in your face that it's peated, it's just, there's something there, like a little bit earthy. There's a real mineral tone to it as well. And maybe tying in with the waxiness and the fruitiness from earlier. There's like, when you open a packet of wine gums, and they've maybe been like sitting in the heat for a little bit, or they've maybe been, I don't know, just sitting in a warm room, you get that kind of residue. It's almost like the wine gums are sweating, like a kind of oiliness to it. So it's not just the fruitiness of the wine gums, it's the actual like oiliness of the feeling of it. There's pineapple again, and possibly some banana. For the finish is, I'd say, medium. I don't think it lingers on too long. There's definitely some citrus there. There's some of that oiliness from the wine gums coming through again towards the finish. It's definitely at the end of the palate towards the finish, so I will say it's in the palate and the finish. And just as I was actually sorting the dog and getting ready to record this, I actually tasted this prior to recording. It's sometimes what I do, I just get like a little bit of acclimatise my mouth to it sometimes. So I tasted this before I was recording, and as I was getting the dog ready, I actually just got like peanut butter. I got, once again, that oiliness and the kind of just crunchy, it's crunchy peanuts as well, not the smooth stuff, not the baby stuff. We're talking about full fat oil, oily, just 100% peanut butter, the natural stuff. No sugar, nothing, no palm oil. That's what I'm getting. A nice oily mouthfeel, little bit dry as well. I don't know if you've ever tried to eat a tablespoon of peanut butter, because I have, because I love the stuff. But it like sticks to your mouth and it's almost like suffocating. So yeah, it's like that, just that really dry oiliness, but also a little bit peanutty. So we're down to the conclusion. Now, what I was going to say earlier at the nose was, this is a difficult dram. This is not an easy, like, just go and drink it, enjoy it dram. This is a little bit of time, a little bit of care, a little bit of respect for it, because there is a lot going on. And these notes from me, some of them are obvious, the others I've had to take over time. Like, I've definitely written these down, and these are ones that I'm regurgitating because it is a difficult dram and it needs the time. So with that being said, it is a hard dram for everyone to like. I'll also say that I not bought a bottle of this because when I'm pretty sure on their like social medias, when they've done this bottle, they just like poured in 3 cl of Brora, and I thought that's just it's kind of like teaspooning, and it's kind of a gimmick, I felt. So I was like, I don't need to buy a bottle, I'm not really going to get FOMO for it. And I think this is the 2023 version. I think the 2022 version sold out rapidly. The 2023, 2024, I don't know if they've done a 2025, maybe they have, or maybe it was 2023 and then 2025. The versions have kind of sat about for a bit, and I'm sorry. I'll apologise to the guys if they watch this. I was wrong. I don't know, I feel like that Brora, I feel like the muskiness and the old kind of smoke peaty feel that I'm getting must be the Brora. It has to be. Like, what else can it be? If it's not peaty, there is like an old smoke, there's something there. Anyhow, I shouldn't have slept in this. It's fantastic. It's really good. It's, like I said, when I seen it 5-year-old, I think, don't know if I mentioned at the start, £80, I'm pretty sure, £70 to £80, 48.5% ABV, 5-year-old, nice age statement on there, fair enough. I just thought, like, I don't need that in my life. I've got other whiskies, but I was wrong. I'll admit that this is a fantastic whiskey. I just thought it was going to be a kind of another bog standard blend, but there is something unique and really enjoyable about this, and I don't know what it is, but yeah, I probably should have bought a bottle. I might look in the auctions, because I am quite taken aback by how good this is. Just how complex it is, and just for the age of it, I think, yeah, the age throws you off just because of that young Dornoch, but it has got the 9-year-old and the 8-year-old there. So anyway, we'll get down to the rating. If you're new here, how I rate my whiskies on 3 factors. Would I buy it again? Do I think it's worth it? And would I recommend it? Would I buy it again? Yeah, I probably should get a bottle of this. If it's not this, like, I like this one. I don't want to take the gamble and get another one, so I might try and look for the 2023 version, because this is really good stuff. I don't know what the 2022 version and the other versions are like, but I know what this is like, and this is good. So I would buy it again. Do I think it's worth it? I think on paper you're looking at it and you're like, 5-year-old blend, nah, it's not worth it. But the experience, and obviously they've put the Brora in there, that kind of brings up the price. And they're not just maturing something, they're actually like alchemists, the wizards. They're actually putting stuff together and creating something quite special. So I think because of the experience that I've got and because of the creation of it, I'm going to say yes, it is worth it. And would I recommend it? I wouldn't recommend it necessarily to novice whiskey drinkers, because it does take a bit of, there's even a wee bit of smoke in the nose, so it does take a bit of time to get into, or maybe not smoke, but there is something, like a charring. It does take a bit of time to get into, but it's worth it. So I would recommend it for experienced drinkers, and if you want to try something as a novice, then yeah, definitely try this and test yourself, because this is really good stuff. So it's a 383, it's a Whisky Win. I hope you've enjoyed the review as much as I enjoyed the whiskey. I've been Stuart, this has been Whisky Wins, I'll see you later.